A lot of people love the idea of being able to quit their full-time job, fire their boss, and become their own as a full-time reseller. And while that's a fantastic aspiration to have, there is a right and a wrong way to go about this change. So in today's video, I want to start by giving you guys a little sneak peek at our full-time eBay operation, how we pay all of our bills by selling things on eBay. And then I want to give you my opinion about some things you really need to make sure you have in place before you make the switch from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. So just in case this is the first time you're watching our channel, my name is Josh, and my wife Haley and I have a full-time YouTube and eBay business. This means we film ourselves going to flea markets, thrift stores, and garage sales, trying to buy stuff super cheap that we could then flip for a profit on eBay. So I want to start this video off today by showing you some orders that we sold on eBay yesterday, get those pulled, packed, and shipped out, kind of start from there, and then get into my opinions about how I started being a full-time reseller, the process that we went through to do it comfortably, and I just want to share that with you because I think it'll be helpful. First item going out today is in the O bin right here, and it is a hat that we recently picked up at a flea market in Greenville, South Carolina. We paid $1 for this one, and it sold for $21 free shipping. It cost about $4 or so to ship out. Next item's right here in the P bin, and it is, at least it should be in here. Not in the P bin. It's next to the P bin. This is a Hamilton Beach replacement like milkshake cup thing. I don't even remember where we got this. I guess maybe the bins or something. But this one sold for $8 plus shipping. So the buyer paid shipping on this one. Next item sold to a viewer named Joy. She says, "Hey Josh and Haley, my very first purchase in eBay yet. Thanks to you, I really enjoy watching your videos, and this is my way to support you. Good luck and God bless. Cheers to more future purchases. Please sign an autograph for me on the cap. We'll appreciate it. Thank you." Joy from Singapore. Miss Joy, she bought this one of these Jacksonville Jaguar hats we picked up at TJ Maxx. We paid $5.99 for it, and it sold for $15 free shipping. So I don't, maybe we accept an offer on that. That's pretty low. But Miss Joy, thank you for your support. We will sign this, even though we don't play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next item's over here in the X file. It's I think it's a Sony camera. Yes, it should be in here. I think it's in that case right there. Maybe. Should be, hopefully.
So many
very
pockets.
Secure.
Very.
Sony? Yeah. Sony 3.2 megapixels. I was actually surprised this had value because generally a camera with only 3.2 megapixels, that's like very low quality. Just your smartphone that you have is probably like 20 megapixels right now. So it's a very low quality camera, which is probably why it sold for $12 free shipping. Next time's right here in the Q bin, and it's a NC State hat. I think, is this it? Yeah. Ugh. NC State Adidas hat. Pretty Wolfpack. Go Wolfpack. That's the team that beat the Clemson Tigers the other day, unfortunately. We got this at the flea market a couple weeks ago for $1, and it sold for $13.99 free shipping. Next item is also in the Q bin right here somewhere. Oh, this is belt. Picked this up a couple weeks ago in a video. We got it at Goodwill for $1. It's a Nike belt, and it's reversible. Black on one side and brown on the other. Great condition, like barely used at all. And this actually sold for $24.99 plus the buyer is paying shipping. So turning $1 into $25 plus shipping is a great flip. You do that 100 times and you get 2,500 bucks. Is that right? So just gotta get 99 more of these. Oh, you listed that yesterday?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, nice. This is that Ralph Lauren sweater we got at the Goodwill bins the other day. It was funny because when we were going over our cart, I was like, Ralph Lauren's a good brand. The green label is typically like the least quality, I guess, out of all the Ralph Lauren labels. But this one sold super fast. You know, less than
$24.99 plus shipping, I think. Or $25.
It's $24.99 free shipping, but the buyer was in like it's going to somebody overseas because it's going to Kentucky. It says Joy. Is it the same Joy that bought the other thing? I think it's the same Joy that bought the Jacksonville Jaguars hat because it's. I don't know if another person named Joy is buying something from our store, but thank you so much. This was $24.99 free shipping. We just have to ship it to Kentucky. We use the eBay Global Shipping Program. Once it gets shipped to Kentucky, eBay handles it from there, and they charge the buyer the appropriate shipping to get it to their country. So Miss Joy, I think she was in Singapore. Is that what she said? So thank you so much for your support. Next item's up here in the C bin. It's another clothing item here. What was it again? The Kate Spade. Where is it? Is this it? Oh no, this is it. Yeah, Kate Spade, some sort of, this is a nightshirt or something? Or is it just a very thin shirt? I don't think it's a nightshirt. Yeah, just a short sleeve Kate Spade shirt, and this sold for $21 free shipping. Did we get this at the bins?
No, we got it at
Regular Goodwill?
No, it was another one of the thrift stores.
Oh.
I think it was the St. Paul's thrift store we went to.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is probably like $2 or $3 or so. So not bad. Next up, we got another one of our Narwhal wine bottle stoppers. Paid like 25 cents for a bunch of these at the Goodwill bins. Been selling them pretty regularly, and this one sold for $12.99. Free shipping. These cost about $3.50 to ship out. Next item is this Columbia two-tone fleece jacket. We paid $5.75 for this at Goodwill a couple weeks ago. It sold for $20 plus the buyer's paying shipping, and the buyer was actually a viewer of the YouTube channel named Josh Nichols from Alabama. That's a cool name because that was Josh's name on Drake and Josh, the Nickelodeon TV show. So Josh, thank you so much for your support. We definitely appreciate it. I think Haley's got the jacket Rasha.
Anything in my bag.
Oh yeah, of course. We'll have to maybe try to shove that in a padded flat rate envelope or something. But Josh, thanks for the support. So yesterday on Poshmark, we sold this Harley Davidson vest. I think that's it right there, which is very convenient. We picked this up at the flea market a couple weeks ago. It's Harley Davidson branded. What did we pay, like $10 for this? Kind of paid up for this. I thought it was gonna be worth a little bit more, but turns out it wasn't. This one sold on Poshmark for $22. And the buyer's paying shipping on there. So after Poshmark fees, we'll make $17.60. So we will have a profit of $7.60. You got them? Oh, yep. Okay. Those are the Madewell shoes. Haley actually bought those at Goodwill a couple weeks ago. I was actually not super crazy about these because I was like, I don't think Madewell's going to sell. But these sold on Poshmark today. They didn't sell yesterday. But they sold for $45 plus shipping. So shout out freaking Haley for...
And they're made of recycled materials, and they're in really good condition.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the tongues had some staining on the lacings.
Yeah, but that's just like
lacings.
That's from the leather transfer, whatever.
Yeah.
So overall, really good shape. $45. Definitely an awesome shoe flip there. And that's it. I think that's everything we sold on eBay and Poshmark. So we got all the eBay and Poshmark orders packed up and ready to go to the post office. Usually we like to show you guys how we actually pack the items, but today was all pretty simple stuff. Shoes went in priority mail boxes, clothing went in poly bags. We used a couple padded flat rate envelopes from USPS for the big sweaters we had going out. So it's pretty elementary stuff in terms of shipping information. In terms of sales yesterday, or everything we had going out today, all 8 items, was a total of $166.69. $5.43 of that was taxes collected by eBay. $72.44 was our eBay fees and our shipping costs for all 8 items we had going out. So that leaves us with a total net sales amount of $88.82. We still have to take out the cost of goods for all 8 items, and here is a list of all the 8 items. This narwhal thing was like 25 cents. This hat was like $6. This camera was about $1. Hat was $1. That shirt was like $3. The belt was $1. I think the sweater was like $4 or $5 and another $4 or $5 for that. So let's say between $20 and $25 or so, maybe even less for all 8 items. So when we take out say $20 off of this net sales amount, that would give us about $68 in net profit or taxable income from everything that we had going out today, which is very low, 451% lower than the prior time period, which I think is supposed to be this past Monday when we shipped out like 38 things, so that makes sense. Now, of course, we are incredibly thankful for the 8 things we had going out today, but if you look at it from a business perspective, a husband and wife team that are trying to make a living selling things on eBay, it's hard to make a living selling, 8 things and making $68 a day, especially you've got, mortgage and insurance and all these things. So that's what I want to kind of talk to you guys about today. But first, I want to show you something pretty cool. As I was showing you guys the computer screen earlier, you may have noticed this nice shiny black desk I have right here. I want to give a quick shout out to the folks over at FlexiSpot. They reached out and sent us one of these adjustable height standing desks totally for free. They wanted me to do like a time lapse putting this thing together, and I filmed it, and it took like 10-15 minutes. It's super easy to put together, but unfortunately I lost the footage. I don't know if I deleted it. I went through several SD cards and I just can't find it anywhere. So just picture in your mind me putting together a desk. You probably know what that looks like. You'll get 2 boxes if you order it. One box just has the desk in there because the top is glass, so they don't want it to break. So they send you 2 big cardboard boxes. Once you get them, it's pretty simple. The legs just screw into the top. There's like 4 screws on either side. They give you a little Allen wrench to make it super easy. And then the leg things down here screw into the bottom, another couple screws down there. Again, it only took me about 15 minutes. Peep that cable management on professional YouTuber. And again, this is a standing adjustable desk. So it has little buttons over here that you can make it go up or down. So if you want it to go a little bit higher for you to like stand while you work, you can go as high as, goes all the way up to 47.5 inches. Even at this height, it's still pretty sturdy. I mean, you may not want to build like a house of cards up here, but in terms of working on a laptop or doing office work, this is going to be totally fine. We even have like half the leg on the regular floor and half the leg on the carpet, and it's still like really sturdy even at this tip top height. It also has these programmable buttons right here so you can save certain heights. So like once you find the height that works for you standing, you just press and hold one of these buttons and it saves it. So this button number 1 is my height for standing. So you push that and it automatically lowers itself to that preset saved height, which is super convenient. Button number 2 I have saved to my sitting height. So we just push that one and it continues to lower to whatever sitting height you set. So as long as you're one person, the only person using the desk, really you should just use 2 of those buttons to save your standing and seated height preferences. Another cool feature is a couple USB ports up here, as well as a USB Type-C port, so you can charge all your devices without having to plug into the wall socket or into some adapter into your actual computer. They also have a lock button right here. You can push that and that will lock it into the certain height. That way, if like these buttons are pretty sensitive, so if you like accidentally bump into it, it's not going to change heights on you. The glass top here looks super clean right now, but that's because I just cleaned it and haven't touched it yet. So it does pick up fingerprints pretty easily, but it does have a little drawer right here that I've actually decided to put my keyboard in because I don't type that much. I'm usually just like, using my mouse to maneuver around. So I can just open the drawer, type whatever I need to type, and then once I'm done, JJJKK, I can just close the drawer and not have to take up room right here on the desk. Taking a look at the Amazon listing here, it's the FlexiSpot EW8 standing desk, average rating of 4.6 out of 5 stars. So not just me, people all around the world are loving this desk. It's also fully customizable. You can do black with bamboo top, white with bamboo top, black and black, which is the one I have here, white and red oak, or white and white, which I think that one looks pretty stylish as well. 400 bucks, 399 bucks. You're going to pay a little bit for it, but it's a highly rated product. It's a quality product. It's sturdy. It's firm. If you're a YouTuber or a reseller, you're obviously going to spend a lot of time at your desk every day, whether it's editing videos or selling stuff on eBay, so you got to make sure you're comfortable. So investing in a high quality product like this that'll last you a really long time, I think is a no-brainer. So again, huge thank you to folks over at FlexiSpot for sending us this desk for free. Thank you guys so much. We're going to use this like crazy. I'm so excited. We have to buy our own to get Haley something to replace this old hunk of junk over here. So now I want to get into my opinions about some things you should have in place before you make that jump from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. And this whole video idea came about because I got a pretty concerning Instagram message the other day from a fan of the YouTube channel, and to paraphrase, he was basically saying how much he's learned from the channel and how he really wanted to work for himself instead of work for somebody else, which again is a fantastic aspiration to have. But he said he quit his job 2 months ago and he's had 223 active listings. He sold 34 things in the last 90 days and he's made $1,500 in gross sales in those 90 days. And now he's starting to struggle. He's saying that he's going to thrift stores and garage sales and he's listing 5 things a day and things just aren't selling. And he's embarrassed because he doesn't know if he's going to have to go back to his old job. He quit and he was basically just asking for my advice. And I wanted to break this down for you guys to not throwing any shade at him. He's just an excited guy that wanted to work for himself. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think if he would have implemented some of these things I'm about to share with you guys, it would have been a much smoother transition with a much lower risk of having to take that walk of shame back to regular traditional employment. So the first issue is that he said he quit his job 2 months ago and he's only been selling on eBay for 90 days. That means he quit his job when he had only been selling for 30 days, which is entirely too fast. I think I was reselling for about a year and a half before I was laid off from my insurance job and was kind of forced into becoming a full-time reseller. Even after a year and a half of selling, I still wasn't where to a point in my skills as a reseller to where I felt comfortable making that jump to full-time reselling. So I can't imagine what made him think it was going to be okay to do that after just 30 days. Again, I'm not judging anybody. People just get excited and you can do whatever you want. This is just my opinion, like I've said multiple times. But in my opinion, you really need to have a good amount of experience reselling under your belt before you make that jump. There's so many variables that come with being self-employed in any business, but in reselling in particular, it can be kind of a wild ride at times. So you really want to make sure you have a lot of experience in selling and dealing with customer issues that come up and returns and taxes and all that stuff. And it's, in my opinion, it's impossible to learn everything about reselling to be a high quality full-time reseller in just 30 days. You just can't do that. My second issue here is that he says he has 223 active listings, only 34 things sold in the last 90 days. So that means he's selling about one thing every 3 to 4 days. And he claims he's listing 5 new things every single day. And I think even as a new eBay seller, if you're listing 5 things every single day and you can't sell more than one every 3 or 4 days, you're probably not listing very high quality items. He's probably made a couple sales. He's got super motivated, super pumped. He's going to thrift stores. He's going to the bins and buying everything in sight that has any value at all, getting it listed, and then it's not selling because it's random thrift store tchotchkes or it's super common items that have 60 or 70 active listings on eBay and 3 to 4 sold in the last 90 days. So when you start reselling, you're super motivated and you're making all this money and you feel like a boss person for the first time in your life, make sure you're not wasting all that motivation and energy listing these very low quality items that are not going to sell. There's items that are just so bad that even if we list them, and we've got like 12 or 13,000 followers on our eBay store, we have listings in our store right now that I found and listed a long time ago that still haven't sold because I didn't do my research to see that, wow, that item has a terrible sell-through rate. There's 100 of them listed and 2 sold in the last 90 days. That item is never going to sell. So take this motivation and energy that you have in the beginning when you first start and make sure you're doing your research. Look for items that have 100% sell-through rate, where there's 20 listed and 20 sold. That's 100% sell-through rate. Make sure you know how to look up the sell-through rate of an item on eBay. Search the item on eBay, see how many are currently listed for sale, see what those prices are, and then filter the search results to show only the sold listings. Anytime the sold listings for that item is significantly lower than the listed, I would probably stay away from that item, even if you can get it super cheap. A couple other things that I've commonly seen newer eBay sellers struggle with in their eBay listings is their titles and photos. eBay gives you 80 characters in your title. You can use up to 80 characters. And I've seen some sellers list a Barbie doll and that's their title, Barbie doll. That's never going to sell. eBay wants you to use as much of that allotted space as possible. So add as many details as you can. What color hair does she have? How tall is she? Is she new in box? Is she open box? You got to fill that title up with as much descriptive details as possible to help it stand out from other listings. In terms of photos, you want to make sure they are well lit. You can use natural lighting from a window, take your photos outside if you want, but the last thing you want to do is take your photos of your items just sitting on your kitchen table with a bunch of junk in the background and one orange tinted kitchen light. That just looks terrible. You want to make sure there's at least 2 sources of white, natural looking light on your items to eliminate as many shadows as possible. It's also a good idea to start taking your photos in square mode. A lot of people start listing things on eBay with their cell phones, and a lot of cell phones, when you take pictures, it defaults to 16:9, which is like the tall rectangle mode, and that doesn't look super great on eBay. So most cell phones nowadays have what's called square mode, 1:1, where the length and the width are the same. So I would definitely start taking your photos in that aspect ratio to make them look even more professional. So I think I covered titles. Be descriptive, as much details as you can possibly throw in there. And pictures, well lit, fewer shadows, distraction-free background, and square mode. If you can handle those 3 things, your eBay page will probably look more professional than half the sellers out there. Before we get into the next couple things, I want to remind you again that this is all just my opinion. I'm just some guy in South Carolina. My wife and I make between $5,000 and $6,000 per month in taxable income from selling on eBay, and there are plenty of people, other sellers on eBay, that are making way more money than us, that have way better, more professional opinion. This is in no means meant to be like some eBay masterclass or something. This is just basic information that you should really make sure you have a good knowledge of before you attempt to make that jump from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. If you don't understand the stuff I'm talking about here in this video, you should definitely not be a full-time reseller for sure. Either way, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is having a solid safety net when you make this jump. When I got laid off from my insurance job back in August of 2018, my wife was just promoted at her job the week before that. I was just monetized on YouTube the week I got laid off, and it was August, so it was like getting into Q4 on eBay, so it was a really good time to start selling on eBay. But the most important thing, the thing that made it most comfortable for us to try this out, was that we had a good amount of money in our savings account. Even if my wife got fired and we both weren't making any money, we probably could have lived off the amount of money in our savings account for 3 to 5 months or so. So I would say that before you make that jump from part-time to full-time, save as much money as you can. I would say at least 3 months of living expenses, because that's really going to pad you a good bit. And if you start getting returns or slow sales days or anything like that, you don't become desperate. Because if you become desperate for sales and you start listing a bunch of junk, or you start giving bad customer service to your eBay customers, that's going to just hurt you even more. When you get desperate, you get stupid. Stupid always comes right after desperate. So have enough in your savings account to avoid that desperation. Assume you're going to get returns. Assume you're going to have slow sales days. Kind of factor all that in and make sure you have enough money for a rainy day, because with reselling, you're going to have rainy days. The next part here is kind of similar to the last part in terms of being financial related, but you have to factor in new expenses that are going to come along with being self-employed. If you quit your W-2 full-time job working for somebody else to work for yourself, you are now a self-employed person. You're defaulted to a sole proprietor. So that means you're going to pay self-employment taxes, which is about 15% of your net profit from that business. That's self-employment taxes, and that doesn't even include state income tax or federal income tax. You're going to be paying a ton of taxes, and nobody's going to be babysitting you. You have to have the wherewithal and the knowledge to keep track of your income and expenses and know what your net profit is and know the difference between gross sales and net profit and all that stuff. You're a business owner, and you have to make sure you know what you're doing before you quit your full-time job to become a full-time reseller. You are responsible for your financial future, and the IRS does not care that you don't know what you're doing. They just want their money. So you've got to be in a position where you can make enough sales to save 25% of your net profit every month. Put that aside in a tax savings account, and whatever's in that savings account, you should remit it to the IRS every quarter. If you don't pay your quarterly income taxes, even if you wait till the end of the year to pay all your taxes as a self-employed person, you're going to have what's called, I don't even know what it's called, underpayment. You're going to have an underpayment penalty of probably a couple $100. So you got to save 25% of your sales at a minimum, put all that in a tax savings account, remit it to the IRS every quarter for an estimated tax payment. It all gets pretty complicated, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can easily get in a ton of trouble. I see so many people online that brag about never having paid taxes on their eBay sales, and what the government don't know won't hurt them. I'm telling you, the government's going to know, especially getting into 2022. In 2022, the threshold for eBay income in terms of eBay reporting your sales to the IRS is dropping from $20,000 all the way down to like $600, I think. So as of right now, this year, 2021, you can sell up to $19,999 of items on eBay, and eBay will not report that to the government. You still have the legal and moral obligation to report that yourself, but eBay doesn't. But next year, anybody that sells more than, I think, $600 worth of stuff on eBay in the whole year, eBay is going to report that income to the IRS. So if you're not evading taxes now, nothing's going to change. But if you're trying to evade taxes right now, you're not going to be able to do that any longer starting next year. So these are all just things that come up when you're a self-employed person. You've got taxes, you've got employees. If you want to hire employees one day, you've got to know how to do that. You've got to be your own boss. And to be honest, a lot of people aren't good bosses. Like if you're a terrible employee and you got fired for that, and now you want to start being a full-time reseller, you really have to put on your big boy, big girl pants and get this stuff figured out, because you don't have time to slack off and watch YouTube videos on your computer and stuff. You've got a business to run. You got a family to feed. You got to get out there, put in the work, figure out what you're doing, make sure you're following all the laws and regulations in your state, and get this stuff done. Full-time reselling is not easy. It's not some cakewalk. It's not as easy as it seems watching us on YouTube do it all the time. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that YouTubers and resellers don't tell you about. And it's not even that they don't want to tell you. It's just stuff that's so crazy that they just don't even know how to put it in words. Like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. Working for yourself is awesome. It's the best thing ever, but it is very stressful sometimes. Sometimes it's not fun. It's a lot of work. I'm working more now than I ever have in my entire life. But I do enjoy it. I do it. I'm not trying to discourage you guys. I do enjoy it. It's awesome, but it's a lot. And you really have to make sure you have your ducks in a row before you make this jump. Because if you don't, you're going to trip over them and you're going to fall and hurt your elbow, and it's going to suck. I get really passionate when I talk about this stuff, so I was probably babbling a good bit. So let's recap quickly. So if you're a current full-time employee wanting to quit your job to become a full-time reseller, first you got to make sure you know what you're doing. You can't just say I've been reselling for 30 days and made a couple $100. I'm just going to do this. You've got to have a little bit more experience under your belt than that. I would recommend at least a year of consistently making enough money, maybe even like 50% of your salary. If your salary is like $2,000 a month and you've been making $1,000 a month working 5 to 10 hours a week as a reseller for a year, I feel pretty good about you making the jump. I think if you're consistently making $1,000 a month in profit, you probably have a pretty good idea about what you're selling, what things are worth, and I would feel confident about you making that jump. So make sure you have the experience. Second, make sure you have your safety net. Make sure you got the savings account with at least 3 months of your expenses saved up. Again, all expenses, mortgage, car payments, insurance, taxes, all that stuff saved, where if you don't make any money for the next 3 months, you won't have to go beg on the street or something like that. And then third, make sure you are accounting for those extra expenses that are coming along with being self-employed. Self-employed taxes, business insurance if you have to get a warehouse or something like that, storage space, all the shipping supplies, all that stuff that comes along with growing your reselling business. There's a lot of hidden expenses and a lot of obvious expenses, and some people don't see either one. So more expenses are going to come along, more freedom is going to come along, more money hopefully, but also more expenses. So be on the lookout for those. There's probably like 7 other things I could tell you guys about, but I don't want this video to be an hour long. So I will leave you with number 4, which is to make sure you have a support system in place. And I'm talking about a human support system. If you're somebody that is working a full-time job and you mention to your family and friends that you want to quit and become a full-time reseller, and everybody around you is just saying how doubtful they are and saying how it's a bad idea and saying that they're scared for you and things like that, that's not healthy. It's so hard to succeed as an entrepreneur and self-employed person when everyone around you is so negative and toxic about the idea. So make sure you surround yourself with people that are supportive, people that are cheering you on, even if it's virtual here on YouTube. There are Facebook groups and YouTube channels and chat rooms. I don't know. There's a ton of people here on YouTube, on the internet, that would love to support you in this endeavor. Again, as long as you're being smart about it, as long as you're being wise, as long as you have the experience, have the savings account, have the knowledge about what to expect in this transition, there are so many people online that will love to support you in this. Again, it's so hard to excel and succeed at something when everybody around you is against you. So make sure you have that spiritual and moral support system in place, again, even if it's virtual. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you feel encouraged. I don't want to come across as being discouraging to anybody wanting to pursue being a full-time reseller. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything I can to equip you guys with the knowledge, tools, and information I believe are essential for success in this field. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button for me down below. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And thank you guys again for watching. You're the best, and we'll catch you on the next one.